Hey, what's up? In this video, I'm feeling very gracious and generous today. So, in this video, I'm going to give free advice to Geico. Um, Over the years, we have, a lot of people who've been exposed to Geico and Geico's advertisements have been entertained and amused. And sometimes I can't help but wonder if Geico actually just sells auto insurance to fund their desire to make creative advertisements. Maybe they have a bias against bad commercials, or, it's almost like their business is structured one-sided to sell this so they can do what they really want, which is this. But I know that's not the case. And the reason I know that's not the case is for several reasons. But the tagline has remained almost a constant for almost a decade. One call to Geico could save you 15% or more on your auto insurance. And the thing is, most people know that it could not. That's why they're not with Geico. Now, Geico has roughly 12 million policies. So we'll just say roughly 12 million consumers. How can Geico, which they probably provide pretty good services, how can Geico grow their business when everybody knows them? They have a presence. They've marketed and they've established themselves as a known entity. They're a known brand. So they've established that. From cavemen to geckos to pigs that talk, they've established their market presence. Yet they seem to stay in this bubble where they can't grow. And there's ways to fix that, and there's ways they could address that. But instead, this is what Geico has done. Geico has made commercials. There's this one commercial with a little kid, and Geico could save you 15% or more. Well, everyone knows that. I don't know if it's, the satire or snarky humor, but the thing is it's almost like it's an insult to injury. Like, Geico is offending people and they don't even realize it, or at least they offend me. That commercial really struck a nerve with me, because it's like everybody knows that Geico could save you 15% or more on auto insurance. Well, that is an utter lie, because over the last decade, I have periodically checked, and at no given point could they even save me 1%. So, could implies that you can. It implies that you might be able to. But to insinuate that you can it's like a scientific experiment. When it's repeated and repeated and it fails, then it's no longer it could. Then it's like a hypothetical, really randomized thing if they actually could save you 15% or more. Now, so what I'm doing in this video is I'm addressing Geico. And Geico's going to love this. Because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tell you, I'm going to give you some of the tools whenever I create a marketing strategy or business plan, a strategic plan. Usually one of the key elements is all the other elements that I don't mention. So the key element would be me. But this is the thing. They've ran this tagline for so long and beat it like a dead horse, where if Geico can't save you 15% or more, people are inclined to stop looking. They're inclined not to get a quote, not to get a later quote, not to even attempt to get a quote, because now you've said you could, their words, do something that more than likely is common knowledge cannot. Cannot and could are two totally different things. So this is what I propose for Geico. I propose that you change the tagline. And instead of Geico could save you 15% or more, you change it to Geico will save you 5% or more. And will implies that you will. And here's the thing, you got 12 million customers, 12 million policies, and in lieu of good business, it's just good business. You can take people, you can get your competitors' prices for those individuals, for their circumstances, their specified circumstances and needs as far as auto insurance. And you can beat the price by 5%. But there's more. You can do this in a strategic and really creative way while creating a market buzz without the extra money blown on advertisements, which we don't want. You know, a lot of people don't mind the advertisements and they like being entertained. So we're not telling, I'm not saying you should stop making those, advertisements. But the thing is, when you compile those advertisements with your mail campaigns and mailing people who see the commercials, know what the tagline is, and you solicit them through the mail, it's like smack, smack, smack. It's like Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, and he's just smacking him. It's just like insult to injury. So this is what you do, or this is what I propose you could do. If your actuaries were actually accurate to a certain degree of standard deviation, and if your actuaries actually accounted for the elements to make their work more precise, because with people there's variables, and there's some variables that you cannot express other than there's a chance of this, a probability of this. So either your actuaries really suck, or your higher upper level management within your organization is just horrible at making good business decisions. So I'm going to give you some business decisions and ways to facilitate growth that are unabrasive on the public. You can still make your snarky little, advertisements, but it was just you do it in a little more effective manner. Comedy. People relate to comedy. So, as far as what I'm proposing is simply this. You want to take 12 million policies. That's a given. That's what you have. You take those 12 million policies, and what you do is you create a swoon, a swell, a buzz within your base. Those are people who use your insurance, and I don't even have to look at them statistically, but I guarantee that most of them are higher income earners. They really could care less that, some of them probably could care less that you're not saving them 15% or more. They're probably people who, are less thrifty minded and more marketable in different senses. But the thing is, to save people any percentage and offer them an actual value, that's how you're going to grow. Because once your numbers, as far as written policies, goes up, your return from that goes up. So you'll be making more money off of more people, even if you're offering a discounted rate. But there's different tricks and ways to do this. What you do is you take your base, you take your 12 million policies, those customers, and you pick a number, like 2%, 3% discount off of every month. And all the customers that have been with you a year, for a year's time, you pick a date. You send them a check for 2% or 3% of what their policy is, and you refund them that 2 or 3%. What this is going to do, because of your clientele base and what it's primarily made up of, and I don't even have to look at the statistics and calculate all this, because it's just obvious. It's social, the social aspects, social dynamics, and psychology and how people work. The thing is, you take that and you, instead of refunding it right to their policy, you mail them for 1 year of paying on their policy a refund check. From that, a lot of them aren't going to see the value in it, and they're not even going to cash it. So you're not going to be paying out the actual refund for your full 12 million policies. But the idea is there. And when people get the check, whether it's somebody at the country club, can you believe Geico? They sent me a check for $60. I'll never cash that. It creates a buzz. Your base will start talking about it. And that's what you want. You want to create an inclusive environment within where you're marketing your products and get the buzz going so that you can generate other and facilitate future endeavors to bring in new clients. So you incentivize your marketing strategy by refunding people. It gets them talking, and then they start talking, and that there alone will start to draw people towards you. But this is what you do on the other end. You take the initiative to also promote bringing in new clients. New clients. Change the tagline. Even if you say you had 60 million policies and you had to pay, and you decided that to get your numbers up and write more policies to make more income, you're going to bite the bullet and give everybody 5%. Whatever your current insurance is, we will beat it by 5%. Will. Key word. Will beat it by 5%. What this is going to do is it's going to, the people who are incentivized by value or see value in that will gravitate towards you. It's not a strategy that happens overnight. That's not how markets shift. That's not how consumers move. And that is fairly simple concepts that should be fairly basic and understandable. What you can do to facilitate this in a unique way, where even that number is not actually 5%, or it's a retainable achievement. You can match people's policy dollar for dollar with their current provider, and then at the end of 12 months send them their 5%. Here's your 5% discount. And there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can structure your online quotes to match this, to work well in sync with this idea, to where here's our quote for you. Disclaimer, at the end of 12, if you accept at the end of 12 months, we'll refund you 5%. If this number does not match or already exceed, or, if this number does not already match what you are currently paying as far as price point, then let us know. Send us documentation. Let us know, and we will match you. And you just match your competitors, and then you offer a discount. In doing this, you could have 24 million policies. You could have 36 million policies. But it's on how you implement it and how you do it. you know, and that's just how I think. I have a lot of, I'm very mathematical and calculated, and so it it works. It would work. It's very workable, and it would give you long run growth and prosperity, even if in the short term you were taking a loss. So with that being said, you know, you know how to get a hold of me. I applied for an entry-level position, and you're considering other candidates, which is cool. And but if you need to find me, you have all my personal information. All you have to do is search your database for me, or you can reach me here. So, anyways, this is just a friendly message for Geico, how they can develop and improve their business. Anyways, have a good one.